Hello once again, and welcome to IU East Women's Basketball on the Red Wolf Sports Network. This afternoon, we are in Sioux City, Iowa for the 2016 NAIA Division II Women's Basketball National Tournament presented by Mercy Medical Center and Seaboard Triumph Foods. Once again here in Sioux City, Iowa, as the number 31 IU East Red Wolves with a 22-10 record get set to take on the fourth-ranked in the nation Olivet Nazarene Tigers, who have a 27-5 record. Let's talk a little bit about these two teams. The Red Wolves are the number 8 seed in the Kramer bracket and are 22-10. The Tigers, the number 1 seed in the Kramer bracket, are 27-5. The winner of the IU East Olivet Nazarene game will face Indiana Wesleyan University or Dickinson State University on March 11th at 8 p.m. The Indiana Wesleyan and Dickinson State game will be coming up to follow the IU East game here this evening. Running a little bit behind after Southern Oregon and one other school, Clark, just finished up their game here before us. IU East's most recent game was an 87-82 overtime setback against Asbury University on March 1st in the championship game of the Kentucky Intercollegiate Athletic Conference Tournament. This is the first NAIA women's basketball meeting between IU East and Olivet Nazarene. Something these two teams have in common since they've never played each other is that they've played 6 common opponents: the University of St. Francis, Marian University, Trinity Christian College, IU South Bend, Roosevelt University, and Holy Cross College. The Red Wolves were 3-3 against those teams, and the Tigers were 8-1, with the lone loss being against Marian and multiple games against Trinity Christian, IU South Bend, and Holy Cross. Some of the IU East storylines: the Red Wolves are in just their second NAIA women's basketball season. IU East is 41-24 in their first 2 seasons, making their first ever national tournament appearance this season. IU East also seeks their first win against a top 25 opponent since the Red Wolves knocked off then number 24, the University of Rio Grande, of the 2015 KIAC tournament semifinals. So let's go ahead and take a look at Olivet Nazarene. Once again, they are the 1 seed in the Kramer bracket. Olivet Nazarene is ranked 4th in the NAIA Division II Women's Basketball Coaches Poll. Tigers' most recent game was a 124-100 win against number 22, St. Ambrose University, in the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference Tournament Final on February 29th. Olivet Nazarene plays a unique, fast-paced style. The Tigers lead the nation with about 101 possessions per game. The next closest team averages about 86 possessions per game, yet none of the Olivet Nazarene players average more than 19 minutes per game. If you're wondering, IU East is ranked 12th in the nation with about 80 possessions per game. The Tigers are ranked first in the nation in points per game with 110.9, three-pointers per game at just over 16, assists per game at about 24, offensive rebounds per game at about 21, and steals per game at about 18. The NAIA Network, the association's official video streaming home, is providing all 28 games live leading up to the semifinals and final on ESPN3. The video platform, powered by Stretch Internet, allows users to live video, statistics, social interaction on a number of devices, including mobile. Single-day passes can be purchased for $9.95, while an all-tournament package is available at $29.95. So we have the free audio-only broadcast here this afternoon on the Red Wolf Sports Network. Once again, thanks for joining me, Caleb Gillock, here on behalf of IU East, as the Red Wolves are wearing their black uniforms today, warming up as they will be wearing the darker road uniforms all the road today, with them being the lower seed. Olivet wearing their gold here this afternoon. So what we will do is we'll go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll come back with the starting lineups for this matchup in the 2016 NAIA Division II Women's Basketball National Tournament, presented by Mercy Medical Center and Seaboard Triumph Foods, right here on the Red Wolf Sports Network. And welcome back to IU East Women's Basketball here on the Red Wolf Sports Network. We are live from the Tyson Events Center Gateway Arena here in Sioux City, Iowa. Player starting lineups underway here inside of the Tyson Events Center. The IU East once again wearing black uniforms with the white trim, black lettering on them here today. And Olivet, of course, wearing their gold with the purple trim and white lettering here for this matchup in the national tournament. Go ahead and go over the starting lineups. We'll start with the visiting team up on the scoreboard. That's going to be our IU East Red Wolves. Same lineup as normal. At guard, number 5, Kristen Miller. Also at guard, number 10, Bailey Dryman. At another guard, number 12, Adriana Moore. At guard, number 22, Tia King. And at center, number 24, Kerrigan Niehoff. And now for the Olivet Nazarene University Tigers. Starting at guard, a 5'7" sophomore from Bartlett, Illinois, number 12, Ali Giampapa. Also at forward, a 5'9" sophomore from Eldridge, Iowa, number 14, Maggie Schmidt. At the other guard, a 5'9" senior from Westphalia, Michigan, number 22, Abby Hangesbaugh. Also at guard, a 5'8" sophomore from Dearborn, Michigan, number 23, Amelia Dennison. And at guard, a 5'8" sophomore from Vacaville, California, number 44, Capriana Christian. They are coached by Lawrence DeMattis in her 4th season. Brooke Peterson is one of her assistants in her 5th season, and their graduate assistants is Chase Deaton in his 1st season. Interestingly enough, one of the good friends of one of our former men's basketball players that graduated last season, Brian Schlatter. Chase is a friend of his. Of course, the coaching staff for the IU East Red Wolves, Tiffany Selhorst, the head coach in her 2nd season. The program only in its 2nd season as well. And she is assisted by Alexa Bess in her 2nd season and Doris Moore in her 1st season. Looks like we're about ready to go. Teams back to their bench in the huddle. Final huddle before we get this game underway. It's going to be the 1 seed and the 8 seed here in the Kramer bracket. The 32 teams are divided up into 4 separate brackets that all lead to the national championship game. And IU East comes in at the number 8 seed, ranked 31st in the nation, and Olivet comes in at the 1 seed, ranked 4th overall in the nation. Both teams out on the floor, ready to go. The big keys here for today for the Red Wolves, they're going to have to play defense. Olivet averages 111 points per game, so they're going to have to play their normal defense with only allowing 65 points per game. And the tip is back, and Olivet will get it. That's Giampapa with the basketball. On down to the corner, a fast offense here from Olivet. Giampapa misses the long 3, and this will be thrown back inbound, saved by the Tigers, and now out on the wing. Back down to the corner, shot goes up, and no good here for Giampapa. The Red Wolves get the basketball. Adriana Moore passes on up the floor to Kerrigan Niehoff. On down low to Kristen Miller, down at the block. Finds Niehoff inside the lane. She gets the basket, and the Red Wolves have a 2-0 start here in this basketball game. Pass down underneath the basket. Going up and scoring here for Olivet is Maggie Schmidt. We're all tied up at 2 with 9:18 to go. Over on the right side with Kristen Miller. A shove in the back from Ali Giampapa. She's going to pick up her first. And team's first on Olivet here in the first quarter. 9:14 to go. All tied up at 2 inside the Tyson Events Center. Bailey Dryman is going to take it out. We're going to be in the front court now. Of course, one of the things talked about in practice this week was how tough it is to play Olivet in the half court. Ball out high, now out top to Bailey Dryman. On over to the right side. King puts up a 3. This one rattles off. Niehoff gets the board, goes back up, and another basket for Kerrigan Niehoff. A 4-2 lead for the IU East Red Wolves. Right now, it's a 4-2 lead. 3-point shot from out on top of the key. No good for Olivet. They get their own offensive rebound. And now it is going to be down on the right side. It looks like we've got a foul called here on the Red Wolves with this one. Looks like this one is going to go against number 10, Bailey Dryman. Dryman will pick up her first personal and team's first on the Red Wolves. And now here's a whole new group for Olivet. We knew to expect that going into this ball game. They're going to sub at every dead ball for what we understand. So it'll be interesting to see how the Red Wolves can handle this pressure. It's going to be back out on top. Pass down to the left block. Turning around, getting the tough shot off. Nothing here for Schmidt, but a foul. So she'll go to the free throw line. A chance to tie the ball game up here And this foul on the Red Wolves is going to go against number 24, Kerrigan Niehoff, as she picks up her first and team second on the Red Wolves. Schmidt for Olivet is a 71% free throw shooter as she gets the first one to go, making it a 4-3 basketball game now here in the first quarter. We've got 8:40 to play in the first quarter. It's a 4-3 lead for the IU East Red Wolves. And now we're all tied up at 4 as Schmidt gets the second free throw to go. Kerrigan Niehoff struggles to get the ball inbound, but finds Adriana Moore. Moore passes on over to Niehoff. Niehoff on up the floor to Miller. Miller, nice lob down to Tia King. King goes up, can't get this one to go, but Niehoff there to try to get the rebound. And King there to help. A block from behind, and now here's Niehoff inside the lane. Red Wolves are now up 6-4. Great game here so far between these two teams. Congratulations to the IU East men's basketball team who won earlier today, and the shot clock is at 28 right now, so the officials will meet and get this reset to where it should be here for the Tigers as they bring in another 5 here with 8:38 to go in the first quarter. Once again, it's a 6-4 lead for the IU East Red Wolves. A great start here for IU East, finding people inside the lane. And now there was some talk from the officials, and it looks like maybe a timeout over here. Not really sure what's going on. So it appears as if the officials are going over to the official broadcast and checking to see how much time should be on the shot clock here, as it is a 6-4 game. Both teams in their huddles right now taking a look at these stats. IU East shooting 50% from the field, 3 of 6, 0 for 1 from three-point range. And Olivet right now 25% from the field off of 1 of 4 shooting and 0 for 3 from behind the arc, but they are 2 for 2 at the line, according to the Statware here at the Tyson Event Center. So it is a 6-4 lead for the IU East Red Wolves right now, and scoring for IU East. It's Kerrigan Niehoff with all 6. And for Olivet, couple different players. You had the free throws there from, looks like Schmidt. She had the field goal, and then the free throws made for Olivet there at the free throw line as well. So it looks like we've got 23 on the shot clock now with 8:32 to play here in the first quarter. Ball inbounds. It's going to be with Stewart. Stewart on over to the right side, and we'll get the basketball into the hands. Adriana Moore with a nice effort, but she's going to be called for a foul as she tried to reach for the basketball against Jane Stewart that time. So Adriana Moore is going to pick up her first and team's third with 8:25 to go here in the first quarter. Ball inbounds down to the right corner. It's going to be tipped off of the Red Wolves, so it'll stay Olivet basketball. 8:25 to go in the first quarter. The ball down on the baseline on the right side. Thrown inbounds out top to Carly Nicholas. Nicholas passes on over to the right side. It's Stewart with the basketball once again. And now it's going to be in the hands of Jessa Learned. Back out top. Shot clock down to 15 here for the Tigers. If you can get them down deep in the shot clock, it's going to be a good result for your team. And the shot was no good for Olivet. Thrown up to Kerrigan Niehoff. Niehoff on down the floor to Tia King. Only a couple other players down. King for the 3. Rattles out. Niehoff goes back up. Niehoff with all 8 points for the Red Wolves. On down the floor over to the right side. Adriana Moore trying to get through traffic to defend. We've got a foul called here. And we'll see who this one goes against. Looks like they're going to get Moore with her second, as she was trying to slide with the defender that time. So Moore will pick up her second and team's fourth. So that's going to bring in Libby Springmeyer off of the bench for the IU East Red Wolves, a 5'9 freshman guard out of Eaton, Ohio. Olivet basketball out of bounds to the right of their own basket on the right side of the lane. It's going to be back out onto the wing with Giampapa. And Giampapa inside the lane. Can't get it to go. Rebound by Bailey Dryman. And now Kerrigan Niehoff on down the floor for the Red Wolves. And we've got a foul called on Olivet. This will be Olivet's second team foul here in the quarter, with this one being called on number 23, Amelia Dennison. She picks up her first. Kristen Miller finds Tia King. King for 2, no good. And Miller goes right back up and draws the foul. So Kristen Miller will go to the free throw line here for the IU East Red Wolves, as Kayla Craftsman picks up her first and team's third on the Tigers. And Miller at the free throw line for 2. Kristen Miller this season second in scoring for the Red Wolves with 12.1. And Miller is a 76% free throw shooter. Misses the first free throw, but here's the second one from the IU East sophomore guard out of Ottawa, Ohio. Gets the second one to go. The Red Wolves now 1 of 2 at the free throw line of the ball game and have a 9-4 lead. Down to the basket, and it's going to be Hengesbaugh getting the basket for Olivet, getting it down to a 3-point basketball game, 9-6. Now out top, Bailey Dryman for the 3. This one off the back of the iron, no good. And it'll be out of bounds. It's going to be Olivet basketball as they bring in a whole new group with 7:10 to go. Right now, Kerrigan Ehoff leading the Red Wolves in scoring with 8 out of the 9. Ball on down the floor with Stewart. Back out on top. Now Stewart steps over, takes the 3. This one way short. And it'll be out of bounds. IU East basketball with 6:59 to go. So Bailey Dryman taking it out to the left of the Olivet basket. And as they try to get Kia King out of bounds and throw across out of bounds to her to try to get the ball in bounds, they're going to say she wasn't quite out of bounds yet. So that turns it over to Olivet. Down to the baseline, getting a shot. It's going to go long for Nicholas. And the Red Wolves have the basketball on up the floor to Kristen Miller. Miller in the middle of the floor, on down inside the lane. All the way, gets this one to go. And they're going to call Miller for the offensive here with 6:46 to go. Kristen Miller a little confused as she got up that time as she picks up her first. And that's 5 on the Red Wolves, actually. So that is 5 on the Red Wolves now. So on defensive fouls now in the first quarter, Olivet's going to be going to the free throw line for at least 2 with the new penalty rule in place. Missed three-pointer this time. It's going to be short for Learned. And now on down the floor, Tia King. It's going to be about 1-on-2 going to the rim, and an offensive foul called here as the Olivet defender falls down. So Tia King is going to pick up her first. And now it's going to be Olivet basketball with 6:29 to go. So it's still a 9-6 lead for the IU East Red Wolves over Olivet. Still a great start. And IU East, as the broadcaster next to me for the NAIA just said, IU East cannot afford to get into foul trouble in this basketball game if they want a chance against Olivet. 3-point shot from way outside. This one's good for Abby Hengesbaugh, and she ties the ball game up at 9 with 6:08 to go. Bailey Dryman inside the lane, goes up, gets this one to go, and she'll go to the free throw line for 1. Bailey Dryman gets the Red Wolves in double digits up on the scoreboard now, and the foul is going to be called on number 22, Abby Hengesbaugh. She picks up her first and team's 5th on Olivet. So Bailey Dryman at the free throw line now for the Red Wolves. Dryman, sophomore out of Vincennes, Indiana, gets the free throw to go, and now it's 12-9. Red Wolves back on top by a single possession. Down the left side of the lane, nothing there for Hengesbaugh this time, and now Kristen Miller with the basketball. Finds Kerrigan Niehoff. Niehoff on down to Tia King at the baseline. King too high off the window, can't get this one to go. On down the floor now, and it's going to be Hengesbaugh inside the lane, and a blocking foul called on the Red Wolves. I think you could have debated the travel call on that one as she got a few extra steps in before. And Miller is going to pick up her second. And that's going to put Hengesbaugh at the free throw line, gets the first one to go. And now Olivet has double digits up on the scoreboard as well. 10 on the scoreboard for the Tigers of Olivet Nazarene. And one more free throw here for Hengesbaugh. This free throw up and in as well. And now we have a 12-11 ball game with 5:43 to go in the first quarter. So Bailey Dryman finds Tia King. King to Dobbins, who's in off the bench now for the Red Wolves. Turns around, throws up out top of the key to Kerrigan Niehoff. Finds Tia King to the rim and scores. And now it is 14-11 Red Wolves. On down to the other end, 3-point shot to tie the game. No good for Carly Nicholas. Ball down on the floor, thrown out top, on over to the right side. And 3-point shot taken from the wing. It's going to be short again for Jess Learned. And now it's going to be out of bounds. Looks like maybe a foul called here on Olivet. And this one is going to be... Got to see who they put it up on the official scoreboard for. So this foul is not showing up on the statware yet either. So now they put it up on the scoreboard. The foul is called on Tori Lemke. She picks up her first. And Libby Springmeyer at the free throw line now for the Red Wolves. Puts IU East up by 4 with the first free throw made. Springmeyer out of Eaton, Ohio. And gets the second one to go as well. It's 16-11. Red Wolves up by 5. And now down to the other end with Olivet. Stewart with the basketball. Throws it out top. Now getting inside the lane. A block by Libby Springmeyer. They're going to call her for the foul. And Springmeyer will pick up her first. A lot of fouls here for the Red Wolves in the first quarter, as IU East now has a total of about 8 fouls here in the first period of play. That's going to put Carly Nicholas at the free throw line here for Olivet. And the first free throw is good, so 4 players will come in now for the Tigers. 16-12, 5:08 to go in the first quarter. Seems like a long first quarter here at the Tyson Event Center with all the fouls that have taken place. And second free throw is good, so we're back down to a 3-point basketball game, 16-13 with 5:08 to go. So it's going to be Red Wolves basketball, full court press here from Olivet. Looks like full court man here from the Tigers. Haley Dryman gets it inbounds to Libby Springmeyer. Baseline pass to Dryman. On up to Dobbins. Dobbins to King. And it's going to be tipped. We'll see who gets to it. And they're going to say out of bounds. Olivet basketball with 5 minutes to go. The officials will confer here and see what happens. Looks like maybe potentially reverse it. 2 Olivet players went for the basketball. And right now he's pointing at Trinity Davis saying that maybe she tipped the basketball. So they're going to reverse the call. And it's going to be Red Wolves basketball with 5 minutes to go. Halfway through the first quarter, and it's a 16-13 lead for the IU East Red Wolves. Ball out of bounds in front of the Olivet bench. It's going to be thrown in bounds over to the left side to Libby Springmeyer. Springmeyer dribbles out of trouble, throws it out top, but throws it away to the Tigers. And now on down the floor, out to the right corner. And now we're going to go back over to the left side, this time to Christian. Ball back into the hands of a guard. 20 on the shot clock. Pass down inside, and a missed basket here by Schmidt. And going back up. A lot of shots going up, but nothing falling for the Tigers. Bailey Dryman tips it out of bounds. Good effort there by the Red Wolves, trying to prevent Olivet from scoring. But it's going to stay Olivet basketball with 4:35 to go. 16-13, Red Wolves up by 3. And ball inbounds out high, this time to Jess Lerted. Back over to the right side. Stewart with the basketball, crosses over, gets inside the lane. Nice dish over to the left side, and a basket no good here for Lauren Rouse. And now we go down to the other end of the floor, but Kerrigan Niehoff open. She's going to go down to the rim, and she'll be fouled. With this one going to be called most likely on Jess Learned. We'll wait for the official foul to go up on the scoreboard here in the Tyson Event Center, and it is on Learned. She picks up her first, and that's going to send Niehoff to the free throw line. First free throw will go for Niehoff. Highest percentage free throw shooter on the Red Wolves roster this season with 81%. She was at one time shooting 85, almost 89 at one point in the season for the Red Wolves. And now here's the second free throw for Niehoff. This one is good as well. The Red Wolves back up by 5. On over to the left side, back out to the wing. Over to the right side, three-point shot. It's going to be short by Nicholas. And the Red Wolves have possession of the basketball once again. Here's Tia King. She lost it, but was able to recover. Double team here. Pass over to the right side. It's going to be picked off. And we've got a travel call as Steph Bazagos falls. And it's going to be Red Wolves basketball with 3:59 to go. So Tia King will be taking it out for the Red Wolves. Sarah Cook out on the floor now for IU East as well. The freshman out of Rushville, Indiana. Pass over to Springmeyer, too high. And now Olivet has the basketball going on down to the other end of the floor. Quick three-point shot. It's going to be a brick, but fighting for it inside the lane. A travel call against Olivet. That'll turn it back over to the Red Wolves. And now Olivet has officially their second turnover of the ball game. Springmeyer over to King out of bounds. And now we've got a whistle. So we've got 3:45 to go. And what they're checking to see was if IU East was allowed to use the baseline and unable to utilize it because Olivet didn't score there. So that's going to turn it back over to the Tigers. Three-point shot off the mark from over on the left side by Giampapa. And now it's going to stay out of bounds. It'll be Red Wolves basketball. Here's Springmeyer inbounding it to Dobbins. Dobbins down at the baseline, trapped and finds Springmeyer. Springmeyer on up the floor. Tia King out on the right wing for the Red Wolves. Trying to find some room, gets down to the basket and scores for the Red Wolves. And now IU East with their largest lead of the basketball game, up 20-13 with 3:23 to go. And getting down over to the left side, no good this time from Hengesma. And we've got an out-of-bounds call. It's going to be, looks like Olivet basketball with 3:16 to go, and they'll have 29 on the shot clock as well as they bring in a new group of 5. So Red Wolves up by 7, 20-13. No timeouts taken thus far in the first quarter. Out to the right side. And now it's going to be out on top. On over to the left side, and we've got a foul called here. This is going to be on the Red Wolves. As Sarah Cook was defending from behind. Looks like maybe they're going to call this one on number 4. It'll be Springmeyer. And she'll pick up her second. And now the IU East pleading their case. They do change it, and it's going to go against Sarah Cook. So a sigh of relief there if you're a Red Wolves fan, as that would have been the second one on Springmeyer. But Springmeyer only with 1, Cook now with 1, and that's going to put number 25, Jess Learned, at the free throw line. She gets the first free throw to fall for the Tigers. And now it is 22-14 as Bailey Dryman replaces Kerrigan Niehoff here with 3:12 to go in the first quarter. Learned at the free throw line for one more. And this free throw is good as well. Back down to a 5-point basketball game, and it's going to be tipped out of bounds here at center court, right in front of where we're broadcasting from. It's going to be Red Wolves basketball. Tia King takes it out of bounds, defended by Tori Limke. King inbounding it here for the Red Wolves, finds Dryman in the backcourt. Help from Sarah Cook, who stays back, ready for defense, and a blocked shot against Libby Springmeyer. Sarah Cook back on defense here for the Red Wolves. Now pass down inside. Broken up by Tia King. And King will take it down to the other end of the floor. 2-on-1. We practice this in practice. And the reverse from Tia King. And that'll make it 22-15. And now getting down inside the lane. Shot no good here from Carly Nicholas. Bailey Dryman on over to Springmeyer on the left side. Springmeyer hesitates, passes back to Sarah Cook. Cook gets it across to Bailey Dryman, and a foul called here on the Tigers' number 21, Tori Limke, who picks up her second, and that's going to put the Red Wolves at the free throw line with 2:31 to go here in the first quarter. So Bailey Dryman goes to the free throw line here for the Red Wolves. 2:31 to go. Bailey Dryman, sophomore out of Vincennes, Indiana, went to Revay High School. Gets the first free throw to fall for the Red Wolves, and now it is 23-15. And one more free throw here from the IU East sophomore. Second free throw here for Bailey Dryman. Up and in as well. She had to practice those a lot yesterday in practice and was struggling with a migraine. And now we go back out top. 3-point shot from top of the key. Good for Capriana Christian. And now it is going to be 24-18 here in the first quarter. Olivet gets the basketball back as the Red Wolves turn it over. And three-point shot from top of the key. This one short from Giampapa. And now it's going to be out of bounds. Red Wolves basketball with 2:06 to go. Red Wolves still up by 6, 24-18, rising to the challenge here in this basketball game. And right now, still playing well without Kerrigan Niehoff in the basketball game. Pass on up to Caitlin Dobbins. Dobbins gets it over to Boyd, who's in off of the bench now for the Red Wolves as well. Boyd on down, and an offensive foul called here on Boyd. And she picks up her first. All but one player on the IU East roster has at least one foul here in the first quarter. So we'll see how this plays out in the latter parts of the ball game. 1:57 to go, and each player has a minimum of one foul. Springmeyer's got one, Miller with two, Dryman with one, Moore with two, Boyd and King, Niehoff and Cook each with one. On over to the left side, inside the lane, dishes off but turns it over as Springmeyer gets the basketball. Finds Bailey Dryman. Dryman on up the floor. Tia King not in the ball game right now either. Now Boyd on down the right side of the lane, gets the basket for the Red Wolves. And now IU East up by 8, 26-18. On over to the left side, three-point shot goes up, no good from Nicholas. Back over to the right side, a wide open three. It's going to be way short this time from Bazagos. And now we are back out top with the Tigers. On down the right side of the lane, and it looked like the Olivet player tripped and fell, but they're going to get Bailey Dryman with another foul here. And Dryman picks up her second. And now Olivet will go to the free throw line. The officials conferring here inside the lane. And now we'll have Stewart at the free throw line here for the Tigers. First free throw for Stewart is up and finds its way in. And that'll make it 26-19. 4 girls in here for the Tigers, with 1:19 to go in the first quarter. One more free throw here for Stewart, a 5'8" senior guard out of Jackson, Michigan. This one no good, but getting the rebound for the Tigers is Giampapa. Back on over to the right side, out on the wing with Dennison. And now we go back over with Stewart on the left wing, trying to get inside. Pass over to the right side. Shot goes up. This one worth 3. And this one's good for Giampapa. And that'll make it 26-22. A 4-point basketball game now with 55 seconds to go. Ball inbounds to Daisha Boyd. Boyd back over to Springmeyer. Springmeyer trying to pass on up to Kerrigan Niehoff and turns it over. Back over to Christian. A 3. This one no good. But the offensive rebound by the Tigers. Kick back out. Stewart for a 3 from the left wing. This one short. And Niehoff gets the rebound for the Red Wolves. Sarah Cook gives it back to Niehoff. Niehoff on across the timeline for the Red Wolves. On down to the rim and scores. And now it is going to be 28-22. A 6-point lead for the IU East Red Wolves. Spin move and now getting down inside the lane. Unable to finish is Giampapa. Back out to the left corner, 15 seconds to go. Shot clock is off. Cook gets the rebound after the shot goes up from underneath the basket. Tia King to Springmeyer. Springmeyer to Niehoff, on over to Boyd. 5 seconds to go. Boyd gets a basket for the Red Wolves. And now IU East up 30-22. And the long shot goes off the left side of the glass. No good. And after 1 quarter of play, the IU East Red Wolves lead 30-22. What a quarter out of the IU East Red Wolves, going up against the number 1 offense in the nation right now as far as points per game. 30-22, Red Wolves up by 8 after 1 quarter of play. We'll take a quick break and come back with the second quarter right here from the Tyson Event Center inside the Gateway Arena on the Red Wolves Sports Network. And back to IU East women's basketball here on the Red Wolf Sports Network. And one of the officials here just said it best. We're going into the second quarter, and he wanted to know if it was halftime yet. And that was a really, really long first quarter. We'll go ahead and give you some of these stats. IU East 50% from the field, 8 of 16 shooting. Olivet 16, almost 17% off of 4 of 24 shooting. Red Wolves missed all 3 shots there outside of the three-point line, 0 for 3, and Olivet 2 of 13 from behind the perimeter as well. And at the free throw line, the Red Wolves 8 for 9, shooting 89%, and Olivet 8 for 8, shooting 100%. However, the Red Wolves did out-rebound the Tigers by 8 in the first quarter, 18-10, and it's IU East basketball to get the second quarter underway. And they have a 30-22 lead. Pass down to Kerrigan Niehoff. Niehoff with the basket here for the Red Wolves to get the second quarter underway. And now it is 32-22. First double-digit lead of the ball game for the Red Wolves. And trying to make some ground there for the Tigers was Hengesbaugh. Missed the 3. On down the floor with Daisha Boyd. Boyd can't get the lay-in to go, but a foul called here on Kerrigan Niehoff as she was trying to get some help there from the official. But Niehoff is going to be called for her second personal. And first on the Red Wolves here in the quarter with 9:35 to go. Ball inbounds with the Tigers. Hengesbaugh brings it up the floor, goes over to the left side, and gets the mid-range turnaround. Won't get it to fall, though. Cook with the rebound, finds Niehoff. Now Niehoff back on over to Tia King. King on down the floor, down to the block. Throws this one up. It won't go. Boyd gets the rebound for the Red Wolves. Gets around the post player. Can't get this one to finish off the glass either. And now we go on down to the other end of the floor. Hengesbaugh with the basketball. Three-point shot from the left corner. No good by number 23, Dennison. And a basket here by Schmidt will make it a 32-24 basketball game. Daisha Boyd with the basketball on over to the right side to Tia King. Almost broken up by Hengesbaugh. And now see what the call's going to be here. Looks like it's going to stay Red Wolves basketball. New group in here for the Tigers as well with 8:50 to go in the second quarter. Tia King inbounding the ball here for the Red Wolves. Finds Sarah Cook. Cook inside the lane from about 12 feet. This one won't fall, and now we go on down to the other end of the floor. Stewart passes on over to the left side. Three-point shot goes up, no good for Nicholas. And Caitlin Dobbins and Springmeyer trying to save it, but throws it into the hands. And now a foul is going to be called as it looks like number 25, that's Jess Learned, was going up that time after the ball was thrown into her as the Red Wolves trying to save it. So Learned will go to the free throw line here for the Tigers with 8:31 to go here in the first quarter. So the first free throw no good here for Jess Learned of Olivet. Learned is a 5'10 freshman forward from Washington, Illinois. Went to Washington Community High School, and now one more free throw here for Learned. Gets this one to go, and now it's going to be a 32-25 basketball game here in the second quarter. Out on the floor now for the Red Wolves is Cook, Moore, Miller, Boyd for the 3. This one no good. It's going to be short, but gets her own offensive rebound. Back out top to Kristen Miller. Dobbins out on the floor for the Red Wolves as well. Miller over to Boyd. Boyd gets down to the right block, and she's going to be called for a foul over there, looks like. Going to get her with the offensive, so she picks up her second. And the Red Wolves now have 3 fouls in not even the first 2 minutes of the quarter. We'll see how this foul trouble situation for the team plays out. On down inside. Nice find underneath the basket. And a basket for Maggie Schmidt. That'll make it 32-27, down to a 5-point basketball game. And now a foul called on the Tigers. And we'll see who this one goes against. Looks like this one is going to go against Hengesbaugh. She picks up her second personal. And teams first on the Tigers in the second quarter. So Kristen Miller set to inbound the ball for the Red Wolves in front of the scores table on the far side of the floor. Finds Adriana Moore. Moore trying to get it up the floor. Finds Kristen Miller. Moore stays in the backcourt on defense for the Red Wolves. on their next defensive possession. Dobbins, nice pass to the free throw line, finds Cook underneath the basket, goes up, can't get this one to go, and now we go to the other end of the floor with the Tigers. Hangesbaugh inside the lane, throws this one up, rebound by Adriana Moore. Moore has Hangesbaugh alongside all the way down the floor, but Moore is going to lose the basketball as there's contact made underneath the basket, and now it is going to be Olivet basketball with 7:30 to go. So now it is 32-27. And now we go on over to the right side. Back down inside. It's going to be Lemke with the basketball, trying to get position against Sarah Cook, and gets a basket to go with it. And now it is 32-29. Adriana Moore gets the ball inbounds to Dobbins. Dobbins up to Boyd. Boyd finds trouble but gives it to Adriana Moore. Moore gets it on across the timeline for the Red Wolves. She's stopped out high by Stewart. Throws it to Boyd as Moore steps into the backcourt. So we've got 5-on-4 here in the front court. And it's going to be down inside, a foul called here on the Tigers. This one is going to have to go against number 21, Tori Lemke. And if that's the case, Lemke will pick up her third. So we'll see who they give this to up on the official scoreboard. And it is going to be against Lemke as she picks up number 3. And now some subs coming in here for the Tigers as well. 6:55 to go. It's a 32-29 lead for the IU East Red Wolves. The 8 seed over the 1 seed. Ball inbounds to Sarah Cook. Cook goes up and misses underneath the basket. On down to the other end of the floor with Hangesbaugh. Hangesbaugh against Moore inside the lane. It won't go. The rebound made by Lauren Rouse out top. 3-point shot. Going to be off the front of the rim, and the Red Wolves let it go out of bounds. No one seemed to be in a hurry to get to it. That 3-point shot missed out on top of the key by number 30, Kayla Craftsman. Moore finds Kristen Miller. Miller to Dobbins. She brings it up the floor on over to the right side. Sarah Cook. Miscommunication between her and Dobbins, and the Red Wolves turn it over to the Tigers. Hangesbaugh gives it over to Giampapa in the right corner. 3-point shot to tie. No good. Adriana Moore gets the basketball for the Red Wolves on down to the other end of the court and loses it over on the right sideline, and that's going to turn it back over to the Tigers with 6:14 to go. And subs come in here for the Tigers with 6:14 to go. On over to the right side, down inside now. Going up and scoring is going to be Tori Lemke. And now we have a 1-point basketball game here in the second quarter with 6 minutes to go. It's 32-31. Kristen Miller with the basketball inside the lane. Nice move. Unable to finish. Boyd tips it up, but Olivet gets the basketball here. On up the floor, Stewart with the basketball. Takes the 3-point shot. Gets this one to go, and Olivet takes their first lead of the ballgame, 34-32, and a foul committed here on Olivet's number 10, Steph Bazagos. She picks up her first, and that'll be team foul number 3 on the Tigers. So it'll be Red Wolves basketball. It's Tia King back in the game for IU East. King finds Dobbins. Miller hits the floor. No call there. Pass on down to Kristen Miller. Miller too hard and misses the layup. And we go to the other end of the floor. On out to the left side. Getting down inside and scoring for Olivet is number 24, Trinity Davis. And now Olivet up by 4, 36-32. And head coach Tiffany Selhurst is going to take a timeout. We'll take one as well. You're listening to the 2016 NAIA Division II Women's Basketball National Tournament here on the Red Wolf Sports Network. And welcome back to the Tyson Event Center at Gateway Arena for the 2016 NAIA Division II Women's Basketball National Tournament. It's the number 1 seed Olivet Nazarene University against the number 8 seed Indiana University East here on the Red Wolf Sports Network. It's 36-32 Olivet. They have their first lead and largest lead of the ballgame right now. The Red Wolves have led by up to 10. And now we'll see what the Red Wolves can do, as many of them have at least one foul, if not two, here in the second quarter. 5:13 to go. Adriana Moore with the basketball on over to the left side to Kristen Miller. And now Moore down underneath the basket. She'll be called for the travel. She falls over, and that's going to turn it back over to Olivet. This is not the same style of basketball that we saw out of the Red Wolves in the first quarter. So Olivet brings the ball down the floor, on over to the left side, and it's going to be Giampapa who pulls up the three, and it's going to be fouled, gets it to go, and she'll go to the line, a chance to complete the 4-point play. This one is going to be called on the Red Wolves, and it's going to go against number 4, Libby Springmeyer, so she picks up her second. And now Olivet will send, it looks like, Giampapa to the free throw line, a chance to complete the 4-point play, and she does. So that'll make it 40-32. The Red Wolves, their largest deficit of the ball game. Boyd on up to Springmeyer. Now Springmeyer comes to a stop out on the left wing, keeps her dribble alive, pass over to Kristen Miller, risky pass on down to the right side to Tia King. King gets inside, can't get it to go. Own rebound, goes back up. And a bucket here for the Red Wolves will break it down to a 6-point ball game, 40-34 with 4:31 to go. It's going to be out of bounds. It's going to be IU East basketball over by their own bench as Olivet brings in a new group of 5 with 4:27 to go. That's another thing that Olivet has going for them that the Red Wolves don't, is the depth that they have on their bench. Right now I see 10 gold jerseys over there on the bench, compared to the 4 on the IU East bench. On up the floor, it was supposed to go to Boyd, but it's going to be out of bounds. And it should be IU East basketball, but waiting on the official signal. So it'll stay with IU East. Tia King will take it out here for the Red Wolves with 4:20 to go. They've got 24 on the shot clock. And King gets it inbounds to Springmeyer. Springmeyer puts one up. This one rattles out, and it's going to go to the other end of the floor with the Tigers now. 4:12 to go. On over to the left side. And one arm there from Nicholas. Here's Stewart back over to the right side, and we go down to the baseline. As he goes cut off, and now picked up out top, and Stewart's going to find her way inside the lane, get a wide open layup. And now that'll make it 42-34. Red Wolves down by 8. Pass down to Kristen Miller. It's going to be too hard and out of the reach of Kristen Miller. She ran out of real estate trying to go after that basketball. If she had had a couple more feet, she probably could have gotten to the ball. But the Red Wolves turn it back over with 3:47 to go. And take a look here at the turnover count for this ball game. IU East right now with 8 compared to the Olivet 2. Inside the lane, going up and scoring is going to be Maggie Schmidt. And now it's a 10-point lead for the Tigers. Kristen Miller gets it across the 10-second line for IU East, on down inside the lane. Gets this one. It won't go for Miller. She misses off the bottom of the rim. On down the floor. Hangesbaugh gets a basket for the Tigers. And now Olivet up by 12. 46-34. Bailey driving with the basketball and over to Kristen Miller. Down to the corner. Springmeyer for the 3. This one's short. It'll be tipped off of Olivet. Stays Red Wolves basketball with 3:07 to go and 19 on the shot clock. And new group here from the Tigers. So the officials are going to stick with their call here. 3:07 to go in the second quarter. 46-34. Olivet up by 12. Ryman gets it inbounds to Springmeyer inside the paint. Goes up, scores, and will go to the line for 1. So Springmeyer, a chance to get this back down to a single-digit ball game. This foul is going to be called on number 20, Jane Stewart. She picks up her first. And now Springmeyer will go to the free throw line for the Red Wolves. Springmeyer this season, a 77% free throw shooter, gets this one to go. And now it is 46-37. Still a lot of fight. And our Red Wolves here in Sioux City in the second quarter with 2:56 to go. And now Nicholas all the way down to the basket once again and scores. And that'll make it 48-37. Moore on over to King on the right side. Red Wolves trying to get it across the 10-second line. Now King on down to the block. Loses the basketball but recovers. Crosses over behind the back. Step backs for the three. This one off the mark. And now it's going to be going to the other end with the Tigers. And Stewart showing a little fatigue as she runs on down the floor, but a three-point shot rattles out for Nicholas. And on down the floor. A little bit too long for Tia King, and she tried to recover and loses it off of her foot. It'll be out of bounds. Stays Olivet basketball with 2:20 to go. And it's now 48-37 here in the second quarter. So the Red Wolves down by 11. Out on the floor right now for the Red Wolves are Tia King, Kristen Miller, Caitlin Dobbins, Bailey Dryman, and Adriana Moore. And now on down to the right side, back over to the left corner. It's going to be with Dennison. Dennison hangs onto the basketball. Gets it into the hands of Christian out on top. A little shot fake goes down to the rim, unable to finish. And now Tia King pushes the ball on down the floor to Caitlin Dobbins. There for the catch. Dobbins, one dribble, gets inside, and as she turns around, shuffles her feet one too many times. It'll be called for the travel. That'll turn it over to Olivet with 1:56 to go. So now, here's Hangesbaugh. Tough shot. This one won't go. We've got a foul called on Olivet. And this will be team foul number 5 on the Tigers. And looks like this foul is going to be called on Maggie Schmidt. She picks up her first. And now the Red Wolves will come down to this end of the floor for a pair of free throws as the Red Wolves are now in the bonus with Olivet picking up their 5th foul. So the free throw shooter here for IU East is going to be Bailey Dryman. And the first free throw is good for Bailey Dryman. That gets it down to a 10-point ball game. Bailey Dryman in this ball game with 6 points. One more free throw here for the IU East sophomore out of Vincennes. This free throw good as well, and we're back down to a single-digit ball game, 48-39. But look out, here's Stewart. Passes over to the left side, and now it's going to be kicked back out. And inside the lane, no good here for Nicholas. The Red Wolves trying to get the ball, but Olivet gets it back, and now we've got a 3-second violation call on the Tigers. That'll turn it over to the Red Wolves with 1:33 to go here in the second quarter. Well, Bailey Dryman throws it inbounds, but turns it over off the inbound pass to Olivet. Back out top, all over to Stewart on the right side. Stewart forced to take the shot and gets the basket to go as well, so that'll make it 50-39. Back up to an 11-point basketball game. Little push in the back there on number 21. That's Tori Lemke, and she picks up her 4th. So Lemke in foul trouble. It'll be interesting to see how they use her in this rotation that the Tigers use. 1:16 to go. It's 50-39. And Springmeyer at the free throw line. The first free throw is good. That'll make it 50-40. As Olivet brings in some subs here, and one more free throw coming up here for Libby Springmeyer. Springmeyer in today's game with 3, and second free throw no good off the back of the rim. It's a 10-point basketball game, 50-40, 1:12 to go. And now here's Giampapa. This one no good. Be tipped on over to the left side. Bailey Dryman able to win the race to get to the basketball. Pass on over to Caitlin Dobbins, and a foul called there on number 44, Campriana Christian. And she's going to pick up her first. And that's going to put the Red Wolves at the free throw line for some more. That's going to be Caitlin Dobbins shooting 2 here for the Red Wolves this time. And Dobbins, in her sophomore season out of LaPel High School, she's a 46% free throw shooter, but first one's going to be off the front of the rim. No good here for Dobbins. We've got one more free throw coming up for the sophomore. Dobbins stands at 5'9", and again, she's a sophomore out of Anderson, Indiana. Went to LaPel and gets the free throw to go. 50-41. Dobbins with her first point of the afternoon, and nothing good there this time for Hangesbaugh. On up the floor to Kristen Miller. Miller dishes out to the corner to Springmeyer. Springmeyer lets the three fly. This one won't go, and Christian gets the rebound for the Tigers. Now on down the floor. Over to the left side. Three-point shot. Oh, it's a wide open three. No good. And Christian, actually it's going to be Schmidt that gets the ball here for the Tigers at a basket. Springmeyer all the way down to the basket. She's fouled and will go to the free throw line. It's 52-41 right now with Springmeyer going to the free throw line for the Red Wolves. And this foul, is going to be called on Cambriana Christian. She picks up her second. And, of course, the Red Wolves still in the bonus here in the second quarter with 25.9 to go. One free throw up and in here for Springmeyer, and that's going to get it back to a 10-point basketball game, 52-42. And now one more here for Libby Springmeyer. Big game here this afternoon by the freshman. This one's good as well. And now it is 52-43. On over to the left side to the Tigers. Stewart with the basketball. Passes over to the right side. It's going to be Nicholas with the basketball. She loses it. Picked up by Adriana Moore and Kristen Miller. Miller looks up at the clock. Sees there's 12 seconds. Slows down but goes to the rim. Unable to score. Dryman's fouled. And now she'll go to the free throw line for two. As there was an over-the-back foul called on number 25, Jess Learned. And Learned will pick up her second, and the Red Wolves will go to the free throw line here as they trail by 9. So here's Bailey Dryman at the stripe for two. First free throw by Dryman is up and in, and that's going to make it 52-44. And now one more free throw here from Bailey Dryman. 7.4 seconds to go in the second quarter. Second free throw bounces around but won't go for Bailey Dryman. The Red Wolves are down by 8 as we get ready to go to halftime. 1 second to go. Stewart puts up a three, but it's off to the right and short. And at halftime, it is 52-44. We'll take a quick break as the Red Wolves trail here at halftime. We're going to take a quick break, but we're going to do the halftime show a little bit differently here this afternoon compared to how we normally do it. We are going to take a quick break, and the team sponsor for the Red Wolves, we'll talk with them a little bit, and we'll also go over the halftime stats. So we'll take a quick break and be back here in just a few minutes here on the Red Wolves Sports Network from the Tyson Events Center. And welcome back to the IU East Women's Basketball Halftime Show here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. And I am joined with the team sponsor of the IU East Red Wolves from the crew, Charlie Sioux. It's Greg and Julie. And thank you guys for joining me here at halftime. But just tell us a little bit about your organization.
Well, we're kind of a social organization that get together. We're sister cities to Lake Charles, Louisiana. And we meet together twice a year. Once in February for Mardi Gras, and the second time is in July here in Sioux City for a big Mardi Gras celebration at that time.
All right, Greg, just tell us a little bit about what you guys do during those celebrations.
Well, we wear a lot of good costumes, big costumes. It's just a Mardi Gras celebration. We have a parade and we throw beads and just generally have a good Louisiana time. We let the good times roll when we do that.
All right, exactly. How did you guys get into starting to sponsor teams here at the Women's Basketball National Tournament?
Well, we just wanted to share some of the fun that we have as being a crew and share some beads with the girls and make sure they have a good time while they're here.
All right, well, I know that the team and all of us here from IU East have definitely appreciated you guys being our sponsor. What do you guys think about the team here today as you've been watching them?
I'm impressed. I'm really excited. We heard a lot of things that they're playing a very tough team, and they're holding their own. I'm really impressed with the girls. They're doing a great job.
Anything to add to that?
It's impressive to me that they're here in their second year of existence. I think that's a great thing. It says a lot about the coach, but it says a lot more about the girls. So it's been a lot of fun.
All right, well, thank you guys for joining me, and once again, we definitely appreciate you guys being our sponsor this year.
Thanks.
All right, well, once again, that was Greg and Julie from the Crew de Charlie Sioux. And we will go ahead and go through the stats here at halftime. Once again, we'd like to thank the Crew de Charlie Sioux being the official team sponsor of the IU East Red Wolves here at the 2016 NAIA Division II Women's Basketball National Tournament. We'll go ahead and go through these stats. We'll start with the Red Wolves since they are the visiting team on the scoreboard. 14 of 38 from the field in the first half for about 37%. Also 0 for 7 from behind the arc for 0%. And 16 of 20 at the free throw line for 80%. They had a total of 36 rebounds in the first half. They had 10 on offense with 26 on defense. They also had a total of 5 assists, 18 turnovers, and 3 steals. For Olivet, they had 18 of 60 from the field in the first half, shooting 30%. 5 of 28 from three-point range for about 18%, and 11 of 13 at the free throw line for about 85%. They had a total of 33 rebounds, so the Red Wolves out-rebounded the Tigers in the first half by 3, with 17 on offense, 16 on defense, as well as a total of 6 assists, 6 turnovers, 2 blocks, and 6 steals. In the enhanced scoring categories, IU East and Olivet tied on the fast break. Olivet leads 17-5 in points off turnovers. The Red Wolves lead 26-24 with points inside the paint. All tied up in second chance points at 13. And Olivet leads in bench scoring with 21-13. But definitely the rotation that Olivet uses, getting subs in at every dead ball, to credit for that. The Red Wolves put up 30 in the first quarter. Olivet scored 22 in the first quarter, and the Red Wolves were outscored in the second quarter 30-14. And that brings us to the 52-44 score here at halftime. Going through the scoring column, scoring for the IU East Red Wolves. There in the first half, Kerrigan Niehoff with 14 points. Had a great start to the ballgame for IU East. Bailey Dryman with 8, Tia King with 8, and Libby Springmeyer also with 8 points for the Red Wolves. Going on down from there, it's going to be Daisha Boyd with 4, and Kristen Miller with 1, as well as Caitlin Dobbins with 1 point for the Red Wolves. Olivet's scoring column looks a little different. They're led by Maggie Schmidt with 12 right now, then followed by Hangesma with 9. From there, it is Stewart with 8. Back up to the top of the scoring column, Ali Jampapa with 7. On down, it's going to be Nicholas with 4, Lemke with 4, Learned with 3, Trinity Davis with 2, and that rounds out the Olivet scoring column in the first half. Once again, a 52-44 lead for Olivet at halftime after they trailed by 12. So be interesting to see what the Red Wolves and Tigers put out here on the floor here in the second half. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back here in about 5 minutes with the second half of IU East Women's Basketball right here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. And welcome back to the Red Wolf Sports Network for the 2016 NAIA Division II Women's Basketball National Tournament presented by Mercy Medical Center and Seaboard Triumph Foods. Caleb Gillock for the Red Wolf Sports Network here in Sioux City, Iowa, and we are at halftime. It's a 52-44 lead for the IU East Red Wolves. Taking a look at the stats, a couple of comparisons here. Turnovers was a big one. The Red Wolves had 18 turnovers in the first half with compared to the Olivet 6, and they also had a total of 15 fouls against the Olivet 16. A lot of fouls called there in the first half. Took a long time to get through that first quarter, but it's going to be Olivet ball to get the third quarter underway. Back out, three-point shot taken, and it's going to be short by Hengesbaugh. And now Schmidt with the rebound, back out to Hengesbaugh over to the right side. Giampapa is going to be called for a foul over here on that side. Looks like this is going to go on number 44, Christian. She picks up her third. So now the Tigers starting to get in a little bit of foul trouble. Lemke, she's got 4, and now Christian has 3. Kristen Miller over to Tia King, gets blocked, and is going to be out of bounds. Stays Red Wolves basketball with 23 on the shot clock, 9:37 to go here in the third quarter. Tia King takes it out to the left of the Red Wolves basket, tries to get it out top to Kristen Miller, and Hengesbaugh trying to pick it off but loses it, and it's going to be out of bounds. Red Wolves basketball. They'll get a new shot clock to work with here with 9:35 to go in the third quarter. Bailey Dryman taking it out for the Red Wolves, lobs it in over to the right side of the lane to Kristen Miller. Now Miller out to the corner to Tia King. She puts up the 3. This one off the back of the iron, no good. And the rebound by Christian. On down to the other end of the floor. And the three-point shot from Giampapa. It's going to be short. Hits the net on the outside of the cylinder this time. And it's going to go back to the Red Wolves with 9:18 to go here in the third quarter. The Red Wolves still down by 8. Neither team has scored yet here in the third quarter. Bailey Dryman takes it out, gets it inbounds to Kristen Miller, fellow sophomore guard. On up to Bailey Dryman. Dryman on the left side of the floor now for the Red Wolves. Goes to the free throw line, out to Kristen Miller. Miller down to the left block, trying to find some help. Gets it back out to Dryman. Dryman on over to the right side to King, who takes the 3. This one is good. The Red Wolves get a 3 to fall now, and it's going to be 52-47, down to a 5-point basketball game. The Red Wolves back at a 2-3 here, and getting down to the rim and scoring for Olivet is going to be Learned, and she now has a total of 5 in this ball game. It's going to be tipped on down to the other end of the floor. It's 54-47. Now here is a pass down to the baseline. It's going to be Rouse with the basketball. Out of bounds. Red Wolves basketball with 8:30 to go. A lot of energy from both benches. Good crowd here this afternoon for the Red Wolves as well. Maybe slightly larger than the Olivet crowd. Definitely when things have been going the Red Wolves' way, you can hear that crowd here inside the Tyson Events Center. Here's Kristen Miller with the basketball. It's going to be a kick ball here against Hengesbaugh this time, so it'll be IU East basketball with 8:24 to go. 7-point basketball game, 54-47. And the officials go to center court. So there's 24 on the shot clock. Niehoff with the basketball. Off the inbound pass from Tia King. And King trying to dump it over to Bailey Dryman, but broken up by the Tigers on down the floor over to the right side. Giampapa with the basketball. Spin move. This one's no good. And a late foul call on the Red Wolves. And this one is going to go against number 12, Adriana Moore. She picks up her third, so a big foul there on one of the IU East starters as she begins to get into foul trouble with 8:09 to go in the third quarter. So Giampapa goes to the free throw line here for Olivet. The first free throw is up and rolls around, but won't go for the Tigers. And now Springmeyer back into the ball game for IU East, replacing Adriana Moore after she just picked up her third personal. One more free throw here from Giampapa. This one short off the rim, but going back up and scoring for the Tigers is going to be number 14, Maggie Schmidt. And it's now 56-47. Back up to a 9-point game. Niehoff loses it off of her foot, but Miller inside the lane from the free throw line. No good here. And Olivet passes on down the floor to Hengesbaugh. 2-on-2 going to the rim, and Hengesbaugh drives and scores for the Tigers, and it's now 58-47. Back to an 11-point basketball game. Tia King with the ball now, surrounded by 3 golden jerseys as she goes to the rim and scores for IU East, and it is now 58-49. 7:34 to go. Hengesbaugh out to the right wing. 3-point shot from Giampapa. This one's going to be short. Kristen Miller gets to the ball. Doesn't have her dribble, so she has to quickly get it to Bailey Dryman. Now Dryman brings it up the floor for the Red Wolves. Out on top, swings it over to the right side. 3-point shot from Tia King. This one's short. And picked up by Giampapa. On down to the other end of the floor. And Kristen Miller gets past Miller. And did their homework on Miller. She's been called for taking the charge a lot of times this season. And a substitution timeout here by the Tigers as they are now up by 11, 60-49 with 7:10 to go here in the third quarter. High-scoring ball game as we expected it to be. And they're going to redo the inbound play here as the ball was thrown to Bailey Dryman, and she tried to pick it up. She lost it off of her hand. So Bailey Dryman will inbound it, finds Kristen Miller. And now it's going to be Miller bringing it up the floor for IU East. Down to 23 of the shot clock. Get it across the timeline to Niehoff. On over to the left wing to Tia King. Thinks about it. Takes the 3 from way outside. No good. Now on down the floor. Stewart over to the right side. And it's going to be underneath. And a good basket here by number 5, Carly Nicholas. And now it is 62-49. 13-point lead for the Tigers as Springmeyer goes to the basket. Throws this one up with the hook shot. And it'll go. And now it is going to be 62-51 on up the floor. Stewart with the basketball, gets it out to the left wing. 3-point shot's going to be off way to the right side. And now we go down to the other end with the Red Wolves as they turn it over out of bounds. Tigers bring in a new group of 5, and Boyd back into the Red Wolves lineup for Bailey Dryman with 6:25 to go here in the third. So now it's going to be King inbounding the ball, throws it long down the floor to Kristen Miller, and Miller to the rim. Can't get this one to finish. She misses, and now we go down to the other end of the floor with Hengesbaugh and the Tigers. Hengesbaugh gets inside the middle of the lane, puts this one up off the glass, and now it is going to be 64-51 with 6:06 to go. Here's Tia King. King on down the floor, pulls up and gets this one to fall for the Red Wolves. It's 64-53 now. Back down to an 11-point basketball game. Over to the left side. Hengesbaugh with it out on the wing. Takes the 3 and a hand in the face from Miller and gets the 3 to go. It is now 67-53. Boyd with the basketball for the Red Wolves. And now she's going to dribble out of trouble. Gets the ball into the hands of Tia King. And King starts to make her way over to the right side. Down inside the lane. Goes up and scores for the Red Wolves. And now it is 67-55. Red Wolves down by a dozen. Crossover from Hengesbaugh behind the back. Goes up, gets the basket to go, and will go to the free throw line here for the Tigers as they now lead 69-55. And Hengesbaugh will go to the free throw line with the chance to put the Tigers up by 15. The foul called on the Red Wolves, number 5, Kristen Miller. And Miller picks up her third with 5:23 to go. Red Wolves still have plenty of time to do well here in this ball game. They're only down by 14, now 15 with the made free throw by Hengesbaugh. And it's 5:23 to go in the third quarter, so still a lot of time left in this basketball game. And it's been a slow-paced game, really. You've got the fast-paced offense from Olivet, but all the fouls that have been called in this game have slowed it down a little bit. On over to Boyd on the left side. Boyd dribbles to get inside the lane, throws this one up. This one rolls in for Boyd, and now it's a 13-point basketball game, 70-57. And Stewart gets one to go. Tough shot there for Stewart as she fades away. And it's 72-57 with 4:57 to go. Miller with the defender all over on the way down, and an offensive foul called here on Kristen Miller. And Miller will be called for her fourth. Be interesting to see how this plays out as well. Sub set here for Olivet. 4:54 to go here in the third. And Miller out of the ball game, so it's Springmeyer and Moore. Moore has got 3 on her right now. And lost the ball, but picked up at a basket here for Olivet's Maggie Schmidt. And it's 74-57 with 4:36 to go. Pass on over to the right side to Libby Springmeyer. Now Springmeyer takes the shot. This one's short as she falls. And on down to the other end. 3-point shot from Rolls, no good. And Springmeyer with the basketball stranded inside, but gets the ball to Tia King. Springmeyer stays back on D for the Red Wolves. Trying to throw down inside the lane to Daisha Boyd, but tipped by the Tigers, and they're going to take it to the other end of the floor. And a foul called here on Adriana Moore. She wasn't set, so obviously can't get the charge call there. So the block is going to be called on Adriana Moore. She picks up her 4th, so we've got 2 players on the Red Wolves roster with 4 fouls as IU East head coach Tiffany Selhorst calls for a timeout with 4:05 to go. The Red Wolves are down 74-57 with 4:05 to go here in the third. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back after a full timeout here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. And welcome back to the Red Wolves Sports Network at the Tyson Event Center, Gateway Arena here in Sioux City, Iowa. The IU East Red Wolves were up by 10, and now they find themselves down by 17 with 4:05 to go here in the third quarter. And a free throw shooter at the line here for the Tigers as well. One more free throw, or a free throw here for number 25. It's Jess Learned. First free throw is good for Learned, and that will make it 75-57 with 4:05 to go. One more free throw here for Learned. Learned has 2 personals right now and is a 5'10 freshman from Washington, Illinois. Second free throw short off the front end of the iron, and Bailey Dryman gets the basketball for the Red Wolves. Hustles on down the floor, over to the right side to Tia King. King takes the shot. Won't go. Bailey Dryman tries to break it up, and it's going to be called out of bounds. It'll be Olivet basketball with 3:54 to go. And back into the game here for the Tigers is Craftsman, a 5'11 junior forward from Hartford, Wisconsin. Went to Hartford Union High School. Out top, she puts up the 3. This one rattles in for Craftsman. And now it is 78-57. The Red Wolves find themselves down by 21 now. 3-point shot from Giampapa. This one won't go. And the offensive rebound for the Tigers. Back out top, work it on around out top. It's going to be Hangesbaugh with the basketball. Spin move. This one rolls around the rim, but won't find its way inside the cylinder for Hangesbaugh. On down the floor now to Tia King. King with Hangesbaugh behind her, puts up the shot. It won't go, but Bailey Dryman gets to the basketball, finds Daisha Boyd. Now Boyd goes up and scores for the Red Wolves, and it is now 78-59. Hangesbaugh with the basketball for the Tigers. Behind the back pass, it's going to turn it over to Springmeyer. Springmeyer on down the floor here for the Red Wolves. And she's going to throw this one up off the glass. It won't go. Boyd with the rebound and a basket for IU East. And it is now 78-61. Noise here from the IU East bench. And a basket here on the other end by Lauren Rouse. And that's going to make it 80-61. So back into the game now for IU East is Kerrigan Niehoff. It's 2:44 to go. Ball inbounds to Springmeyer, on up to Tia King. And now King gets inside the lane, down to the rim, and scores for the Red Wolves. 80-63 On down the floor to the right side of the corner. Back out to Stewart. Stewart gets it out top. And now down the left side of the lane. Throws this one up off the glass. No good for Learned. But a rebound by the Tigers. Missed shot underneath this time by number 21, Tori Lemke. Niehoff is trapped on the sideline. Throws it in bounds. Good save by Tia King. And they're going to call her for being out of bounds. Over back on the sideline with 2:13 to go. So it's 80-63. Over and back was because King was technically in the front court, but threw it in bounds to the back court. Driving up the floor to Niehoff. Niehoff out to the corner. Springmeyer with the three. This one's short. And it's going to be picked up this time by number 5, Carly Nicholas. On down the floor. Loses it. And King passes away over the head, but it's going to be out of bounds. It'll stay with Olivet. 1:50 to go here in the third quarter. It's 80-63. The Red Wolves down by 17 right now. And now it's going to be Hangisbaugh with the ball out on top of the key. Down the left side of the lane, defended by King. Hangisbaugh with a basket here for the Tigers. That's going to make it 82-63. King utilizing the baseline. And Niehoff with the basketball. Nice pass around the player. Bailey Dryma down inside the lane. Can't get the foul call. Kerrigan Niehoff gets the ball, goes up, and won't go for Niehoff. On down to the other end of the floor with Christian. Christian out to the corner. And now inside the lane, they're going to find number 14. That's Schmidt. And she gets a basket here for the Tigers, making it 84-63. And a foul called here late. And see who this one goes against. I'm going to say Olivet basketball, so it's going to be a foul called on the Red Wolves. This one goes against number 33, Sarah Cook. She picks up her second with 1:06 to go here in the third. And that's going to be team foul number 5 on the Red Wolves as well. So I'll put Olivet at the free throw line. And their free throw shooter is going to be Capriana Christian. A 5'8" sophomore guard from Vancouver, California. .106 to go, and here's the first free throw from Christian. Won't go. Olivet right now up by 21. Still 1:06 to go here in the third quarter. The officials conversing here out at the top of the three-point line. Once again, thank you here this afternoon for joining us here on the Red Wolves Sports Network as we are in Sioux City, Iowa for the 2016 NAIA Division II Women's Basketball National Tournament. So we'll see what they're going to do here. Looks like they're going to say no shot. The official scoreboard still has 84-63. Joe, any idea what happened there? All right, so not sure what happened, but Olivet has the basketball, and Bailey Dryman hits the floor, had a defender on top of her. Shot is going to be short here by number 10. That is Steph Bazigos, and stops the clock with 54.1 to go. As Bazigos picks up her second, and that's 2 fouls called on the Tigers. On down the floor, Springmeyer has Rhodes all over all the way down, back out to the right wing. It's King with the basketball, and a foul called here on the Tigers. It'll be their third of the quarter with 44.9 to go. Yeah, this one is going to be called on number 4, Lauren Rouse. She picks up her first, and it'll be Red Wolves basketball. Inbounds to Tia King, hands it off to Dryman with 42 seconds to go. 26 up on the shot clock. King for a 3 from the right corner. This one's good for Tia King. And now we have an 84-66 basketball game here at the Tyson Event Center. Red Wolves have a lot of ground to make up going into the fourth quarter, but a three-point shot taken off the mark here from Learned, and we go down to the other end of the floor. Tia King with the basketball, takes the shot. This one's short. Haley Dryman was able to tip it, but it goes into the hands of Steph Bazigos, and we go down to the other end of the floor. Game clock down to 6, and inside the lane. Offensive foul called here. Good charge taken by Sarah Cook. With this foul being called, see who this was called on here. Going to be against Olivet's number 25. That is Jess Learned. She picks up her third. That'll be team foul number 5. We've got 4 now up on the official scoreboard, so we'll see what's going on here for sure. 4 up on the scoreboard now for the Tigers. And they bring in a group of subs here with 3.6 to go. 84-66 is the score. Sarah Cook gets it to Tia King. King throws one up from half court, and it's not going to go for King at the buzzer. So after 3 quarters of play, it is Olivet 84, IU East 66. We'll take a break and come back with the fourth quarter here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. See what the Red Wolves can do here against this fast-paced offense of Olivet Nazarene. Right here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. And welcome back to IU East Women's Basketball here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. Right now it is 84-66. Olivet Nazarene University with the lead as we go into the fourth quarter. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the stats as we head into the fourth quarter. According to the stat, we were last updated at 5:16 to the third. We'll see if we get that to refresh here as we are headed into the fourth. Bailey Dryman sets to inbound the ball for the Red Wolves. Gets it inbounds to Kerrigan Niehoff. Niehoff finds Springmeyer. Springmeyer wide open but misses the layup. And the Tigers get the basketball back. Right now the Red Wolves still shooting better from the field than the Tigers. But it's going to be out of bounds. Our IU East basketball with 9:47 to go. Red Wolves shooting 39% from the field in the game compared to the Olivet 37. But the big difference maker right now has just been turnovers, 26-12 on turnovers. King down the floor, lays this one in for the IU East Red Wolves. And now it is 84-68. The Red Wolves need a great defensive stop on every Olivet possession here. On over to the left side, Giampapa, no good. It'll be a brick, and the rebound by Tia King on down to the other end of the floor. Inside the lane, misses the lay-in on this one. And now going to be on down to the other end of the floor. Nice pass down to the right side, and a basket by Schmidt. That'll make it 86-68. 9:05 to go here in the fourth quarter. Ball to Kerrigan Niehoff. Niehoff puts this one up, can't get it to go, and now we go down to the other end with the Tigers. Angesbaum with the basketball, gets inside the lane. This one in and out for her, and now we go on down to the other end. Sarah Cook with the basketball. Cook, nice pass over to Springmeyer, unable to finish again. And now we go down to the other end of the floor. It's going to be broken up by Tia King. The Red Wolves get the basketball. Sarah Cook with it. And Cook on over to Bailey Dryman. And now we've got a timeout taken by Coach Selhorst and the IU East Red Wolves with 8:32 to go. And they'll have possession of the basketball when we come back. 8:32 to go here in the fourth quarter of the 2016 Division II NAIA Women's Basketball National Tournament game between the 1 and the 8 seed from the Kramer bracket here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. And back to the Red Wolves Sports Network, where the IU East Red Wolves, the 8th seed, trail the number 1 seed, Olivet Nazarene University, 86-68. Kristen Miller back into the game for the Red Wolves as she's got 4. Down to Daisha Boyd. Boyd up and goes off the rim. Dryman with the rebound. Goes back up and scores here for the Red Wolves. And that'll make it 86-70 now. Red Wolves have got it down to a 16-point basketball game with 8:14 to go. It's going to be Red Wolves basketball now with a foul called on Olivet. That's going to go against number 5, Carly Nicholas. And Nicholas is going to pick up her first and team's first on the Tigers here in the fourth quarter. Ball thrown in bounds, and it's going to be tipped by the Tigers. 3-point shot from out on top of the key, and it's good for Jess Learned. And now it is 89-70. The Red Wolves back down by 19. Picked off here by Learned. Back out on top of the key. Over to the left side now to Stewart. Stewart back over. Nicholas puts up a 3. This one rattles in. And now Olivet leads 92-70. Bailey Dryman passes on up to Daisha Boyd. Boyd on over to the left side. Miller back to Boyd. Goes up and scores here for the Red Wolves, and it's 92-72. Red Wolves down by 20 with 7:38 to go. Stewart drives to the lane. This one won't find its way in, and a foul called here on Olivet's number 25. Jess Learned, she's going to pick up her 4th personal. And that'll be team foul number 2 on the Tigers as well. So we've got 7:34 to go here in the fourth quarter. And right now it's Adriana Moore who was down over by the goal with a hard collision. And IU East athletic trainer from Reed Orthopedics, Jesse Tittle, comes out onto the floor to check her out. Coach Selhorst walks out there as well. And Jesse and Coach Selhorst will walk her back to the bench. So out on the floor right now, it's Springmeyer, King, Dryman, Niehoff, and Miller. So Adriana Moore out of the game. A tough game here by her. And this one is Moore scoreless, but has pulled down some rebounds today for the Red Wolves. Pulled down 6. Out to the left side, King with the step back 3. It's going to be short. And now Angus ball goes down to the other end of the floor. Give it to Christian. Christian back out top. It's going to be Angus ball with the basketball. 20 on the shot clock. Gets down to the left block underneath the basket. Puts it up. It won't go. And the rebound by the Tigers. Broken up. And now passed on down the floor to Tia King, who gets to it. And now King down to the rim. Nothing called underneath the basket. Gets her own board. Goes back up. Niehoff with the rebound here. Goes back up. She can't get it to go either. And now we go to the other end of the floor. 6:48 to go. On over to the right side. And now it's going to be Hangesma with the basketball for Olivet. Inside the lane, over to the left block. Can't get it to go. Pass out to Kristen Miller. Miller goes down to the other end, 1-on-1. Gets this one to go for the Red Wolves. And now it is 92-74 with 6:26 to go. Now spin move by Hangesbaugh. Can't get this one to go. And Bailey Dryman with the basketball. Foul called here on the Tigers. This will be team foul number 3 on Olivet. And the foul is going to be called on GM Papa. She's going to pick up her 2nd. And now it'll be Red Wolves basketball at the far end. We'll be going left to right to finish off the fourth quarter as they trail right now 92-74. Down by 18 in the fourth quarter. The Red Wolves had a great start to this basketball game, but have fought the turnover battle here in this ball game. Bailey Dryman down to the other end and is fouled. She'll go to the free throw line for the Red Wolves. And this foul is going to be called, looks like, on number 20, Jane Stewart. She picks up her 2nd, team's 4th. So Bailey Dryman, she goes to the free throw line. She's 3 inches shorter than anyone else in the national top 35 in rebounding, but Dryman is 33rd in the nation with 8.7 rebounds per game. And the free throw there for Dryman makes it 92-75. One more here for the IU East sophomore. And this one is going to be good as well, so it's now 92-76. On over to the right side. It's Stewart with the basketball. Back out top to Nicholas. And now Nicholas is going to pass back over to the right side. It's with Stewart. Stewart back on over. And it's Freeman with the basketball. She's into the game for Olivet. First time seems like I've mentioned her name in this game. And it's broken up inside, but Stewart puts a shot up with 7 on the shot clock. And now it's going to be Bailey Dryman on down to Kristen Miller. Miller with the wide open lay-in here for the Red Wolves, and that'll make it 92-78. So the Red Wolves have cut it down to now a 14-point ball game and a full timeout taken by IU East with 5:36 to go remaining in the ball game. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with the remaining minutes of this matchup of the 2016 NAIA Division II Women's Basketball National Tournament here in Sioux City. And welcome back to Sioux City, Iowa at the Tyson Events Center Gateway Arena for this matchup of the 2016 NAIA Division II Women's Basketball National Tournament presented by Mercy Medical Center and Seaboard Triumph Foods. It's a 92-78 lead for Olivet Nazarene University over the IU East Red Wolves. And now it's going to be with Jim Papa with the basketball from about 10 feet. This one won't go. Tia King with the rebound on down to the other end of the floor, crosses half court. And now from about 12 feet, King won't get this one to go. It's going to be tipped out to the left side. King tries to save it. And we'll dive into the IU East bench. It'll be Olivet basketball with 5:12 to go. Now it's going to be Hangisbaugh with the ball. Back out to the left side. Three-point shot up and in for Craftsman. And now it is going to be 95-78. Red Wolves down by 17. Here is Kristen Miller. Passes down to Bailey Dryman. Dryman gets a bucket here for the Red Wolves. And now it's a 15-point basketball game once again. Still hope here for the Red Wolves. Only down by 15 right now, but Craftsman puts up another three off the left side of the window. And Kristen Miller with the ball. Takes it on down the floor for IU East over to the left side. And now Miller gets inside. Scores here for the Red Wolves. And now it is 95-82. 4:26 to go here in the fourth quarter. And a basket missed here by number 4, Lauren Rouse. And Dryman has defenders all over her. Passes over to Kerrigan Niehoff. And now Niehoff inside the lane out to Miller. Miller can't get this one to go. It's going to be out and brought down by number 30. That is Craftsman. And now we go to the other end of the floor. Both teams. You can see that both teams are starting to get tired here. A bump by Springmeyer, and Springmeyer is going to pick up number 3, the good basket here for the Tigers as well. And that's going to make it 97-82. So Springmeyer picks up number 3. And now free throw here for Hangisbaugh. 3:59 to go. And this free throw was good. That'll make it 98-82. Olivet back up by 16. So 3:59 to go. Bailey Dryman goes it inbounds to Kristen Miller. Miller on up the floor here for the Red Wolves. And goes to the right and unable to finish. Brought down here by Christian. Christian passes on over to Stewart. Stewart on down. Nicholas. This one off the mark from three-point land. And now Miller with the basketball. Trying to find some help. And now Bailey Dryman passes on down to Kerrigan Niehoff. Niehoff goes up and scores for the Red Wolves. And it is now 98-84 with 3:30 to go. On the back out, it's going to be tipped by Dryman, but a three-point shot from Christian. It's going to be short. An air ball here, and that'll turn it back over to the Red Wolves with 3:23 to go. So, lineup change here for the Tigers. We bring in a new group of 5 with 3:23 to go. 98-84, the Red Wolves down by 14 right now here in the fourth quarter. And now on up to Kristen Miller. Miller crosses over behind the back to go to the left side. Miller all the way down. She's fouled to go to the free throw line with 3:15 to go. And now foul called here on number... Trying to see who the foul's on here for Olivet. I've not put it up on the official scoreboard yet, so it's going to be on number 15. That's Chelsea Rhodes. She picks up her first, and Kristen Miller at the stripe now for the Red Wolves gets the first free throw to go here. It's now 98-85, a 13-point ball game here for the IU East Red Wolves. One more free throw, and this one bounces around but falls off the left side. And here's Rhodes with the basketball, gets to the baseline but loses it off of her foot, turns it back over to the Red Wolves with 3:07 to go. And Red Wolves down by 13, so still in this ball game with 3:07 to go. Haley Dryman finds Adriana Moore, who's back out for IU East. Now here's Dryman. Dryman crosses over behind the back over to the right side. Inside, gets this one to go. And now it is 98-87, an 11-point basketball game here for the IU East Red Wolves and Olivet Nazarene Tigers. Three-point shot. There's a dagger there by Ashley Freeman, and that's going to make it 101 to now 87. King all the way down and scores for the Red Wolves, and a timeout immediately taken. And now it's a 12-point basketball game with 2:37 to go. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with the final minutes of this ball game right here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. And welcome back to the Tyson Event Center here in Sioux City, Iowa. 2:37 to go in the fourth quarter. And it's a 101-89 lead for the Olivet Nazarene University Tigers. Hangisball with the ball for Olivet coming out of the timeout. And it's going to be on over to the right side. Back out to Hangisball on top of the key. Back over. Three-point shot from Gian Papa. And from way outside, gets this one to go. And it's 104-89. Back to Tia King. King is fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line now for the Red Wolves with 2:15 to go. And the IU East Red Wolves right now down by 15. It's 104-89. And the foul is going to be on Hangisball. She picks up number 3. She's from Westphalia, Michigan. 5'9" senior guard. Went to Pewamo, Westphalia High School. But Tia King out the free throw line now for the Red Wolves. Gets this first one to go. Red Wolves have now scored 90 in the ball game. She's a sophomore out of Indianapolis. And now one more free throw here for Tia King. She right now is leading IU East and 6th in the nation with 20.3 points per game. Gets the second free throw to go as well. And now King unofficially with 25. The three-point shot goes up. No good for Craftsman. Rebound by Gian Papa. Back out to the wing. 2:02 to go, and it's 104-91. Under 2 minutes to play now. Hangisball over to the right side, back out top, on around to the left corner. It's going to be up and in for Gian Papa. And now Olivet has the 107-91 lead. Niehoff dives on the floor, grabs the basketball, possession arrow in favor of the Tigers. But they're calling a foul here. So we'll see how this works out as she starts to make her way over to make the call. This one's going to be on number 23, Amelia Dennison. She picks up her second. And that's going to send Kerrigan Niehoff down to the other end of the floor for 2 free throws with 1:43 to go. And now the first free throw here for Niehoff. Up and in. That makes it 107-92. And one more free throw here for Niehoff as Olivet brings in a new group of 5. And second free throw good for Niehoff as well. 107-93. 14-point basketball game with 1:40 to go. Stewart over to the right side. Now throws it back over to the left side. Broken up by Kristen Miller, but Olivet hangs on to the basketball. Down to the other end, Bailey Dryman goes up and lays this one in for the Red Wolves, and it's now 107-95 with 1:22 to go. Out to the left corner, it's Nicholas with the basketball. Back out to the wing to Stewart, out on top. Now on over, down to the right block. Stewart goes up. Can't get it to go. Niehoff with the rebound. King will take it to the other end of the floor alongside Kristen Miller. Miller lays this one in for the Red Wolves, and it's a 10-point ball game with 1:03 to go. On down to the right corner. Back out top to Stewart. And now the Red Wolves are going to have to decide when they're going to start fouling. Kristen Miller is not the one that should be committing the foul right now. She tries to go for the steal. 15 on the shot clock here for the Tigers as they lead by 10. Stewart almost broken up by Dryman. Kicks it out to the corner. Now back out to Stewart. Shot clock down to 6. The deepest it's been on the shot clock for the Tigers all game. Basket won't go. Gets the rebound. Goes back up and finds its way in for number 21, Tori Lemke. And now Olivet leads 109-97 with one free throw to come here for Lemke. And 33.8 remains in the ballgame here for the Red Wolves and the Tigers. And now this free throw for Lemke finds its way in, and it's 110-97 with 33.8 to go in the ballgame. And taking it out for the Red Wolves, Bailey Dryman. Dryman will get it inbounds to Kristen Miller, and there's about a 3-second, almost 4-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Out top to Dryman. Dryman on over to Miller. Miller puts up the shot, gets this one to fall for the Red Wolves. And see, we're going to go ahead and call this a 2-point basket, so it's 110-99. And they're going to go back and look to make sure the score is right. So right now the official score is 110-99 with 21.7 to play. And it looks like they're going to check the time as well. So see what the officials come up with here. We are late in the basketball game at this point. Tough game here for the Red Wolves, but definitely have to give them credit for trying because they were up by 10 and then found themselves down by nearly 20, if not more, at one point. So the officials say there's 21.3 to go. It's 110-99. Here in the fourth quarter, shot clock is off. Hangesbaugh brings it down the floor. And now Hangesbaugh against Kristen Miller. Miller chasing after her. Game clock down to 7. And that's going to be the ball game here at the Tyson Event Center. Kristen Miller is going to give number 22, Abby Hangesbaugh, a hug out here on the floor. Bailey Dryman gives Hangesbaugh a pat on the back and hug as well, as Hangesbaugh had quite the ball game here today with 21 points, but big game here for Olivet and IU East. IU East falls by 11 in this one. It's a tough one if you're an IU East fan with some of the games they've had this season against tough opponents, but trust me, for this team to have only lost by 11 in this game is a major statement, and you've got all freshmen and sophomores and 2 really good recruits that are coming in next year. So you've got to expect that this basketball team will be back here in Tyson City, or Sioux City, at the Tyson Event Center in the future years to come. We're going to take a quick break, and we will come back with the post-game stats here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. Once again, final score 110-99. Stay tuned for the post-game show right here on the Red Wolves Sports Network. And welcome back here on the Red Wolf Sports Network for the post-game show. Caleb Gillock, thanks again for joining us here on the Red Wolf Sports Network from Sioux City here this afternoon at the Tyson Event Center. We'll go ahead and go through these stats. 43% from the field goal range for the IU East, 37 of 86. Olivet shot 41 of 110 for 37%. From behind the perimeter, the Red Wolves 14%, 2 of 14, and Olivet 13 of 47 for 27, almost 28%. At the free throw line, the Red Wolves 82%, 23 of 28, and Olivet 68%, 15 of 22. The Red Wolves out-rebounded the Tigers by 5, 65-60. IU East 16 on the offensive boards, 49 on defense, and Olivet 24 on offense, 36 on defense. IU East also had 15 assists, 8 steals, 29 turnovers, and 22 fouls for the ball game. And Olivet, 19 assists, 13 steals, 17 turnovers, 3 blocks, and 27 fouls. Leading scorer for the Red Wolves was Tia King with 28, Abby Hingisbaugh with 24 for Olivet. Bailey Dryman, the leading rebounder for the Red Wolves with 17, and Learned, the leading rebounder for Olivet with 9. Bailey Dryman also the assists leader for the Red Wolves with 8, and Hingisbaugh had 9 for Olivet. In the enhanced scoring categories, the Red Wolves lost with points off the bench scoring 48-23. They were also outscored Olivet inside the lane 66-54. They also outscored Olivet on second chance points 19-18, and Olivet outscored the Red Wolves 33-15 in points off turnovers. Go through the scoring columns for both teams. We'll start with Olivet. The leading scorer was Abby Hingisbaugh with 24, followed by Maggie Schmidt with 22. From there, it was Ali Giampapa with 13. From there, looks like it's going to be Carly Nicholas with 9. Jess Learned with 9. Then it's going to be Tori Lemke with 7. And on down from there, Kayla Crashman with 6. And then Capriana Christian with 3. Also with 3 points for the Tigers was going to be Ashley Freeman. Lauren Rouse with 2. And that rounds out scoring for Olivet. For the IU East Red Wolves, leading scorer again was Tia King with 28, then followed by, looks like, Bailey Dryman and Kerrigan Niehoff each with 18. Then Kristen Miller with 12, Libby Springmeyer, with 10. Daisha Boyd also had 12. Kristen Miller also with 12 there for the Red Wolves. And Kerrigan Niehoff, she had 18 in scoring for the Red Wolves. Caitlin Dobbins with 1. That's the scoring column of this matchup between the IU East Red Wolves and the Olivet Nazarene University Tigers. So the Red Wolves are going to finish up the season 22-11. Olivet advances into the second round. They improved to 28-5 on the season. And taking a look at the bracket, Olivet is going to take on the winner of the next game. That is Indiana Wesleyan and Dickinson State University. So stay tuned for that. If you're an Olivet fan, even a Red Wolves fan that's just wanting to keep up with the tournament, stay tuned for that, as it's going to be a deciding factor on who plays Olivet coming up. I believe tomorrow the game is going to be played. Take a look here at the bracket tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. The winner of this game taking on Olivet here at the Tyson Event Center. So once again, you can catch all the games on the NAIA network. Just go to NAIA.org, and you'll be able to find all the information you need to get to that. So for one last time this basketball season, Caleb Gillock for the Red Wolf Sports Network. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Inside IUE Sports if you're able to tune in for that, if you're a Comcast statewide customer or a local to the Richmond area. Otherwise, we'll see you back in volleyball season for more play-by-play here on the Red Wolf Sports Network. Hopefully into the Student Events and Activities Center at that point, as the Red Wolves are eager to move into their new home coming up this fall. So one last time, Caleb Gillock for the 2015-16 broadcast season here on the Red Wolf Sports Network. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next year.